So King Charles has returned to royal duties, attending the Easter service at Windsor Castle yesterday.
Yes, after the service, the King spoke to the crowds gathered outside St George's Chapel, accompanied by Queen Camilla.
Now, the Prince and Princess of Wales, they weren't there following the revelation last week that the Princess of Wales has a cancer diagnosis. They were on a private holiday at Sandringham.
Well, former butler to King Charles III, Grant Harrold, joins us now. Very good to see you this morning, Grant. And it was heartening, wasn't it? A positive sign to see the King not only doing a walkabout, but also shaking hands with people.
Good morning, Ellie. Good morning, Eamon. Absolutely. I mean, it was wonderful to see because obviously we know he's going through the treatment just now. He has cut back on a lot of the public duties. We see what goes on behind the scenes, obviously at the palace with his engagements and his meetings, but to see him actually back doing a public duty, attending the service, and as you said, meeting well-wishers and even having a bit of a laugh and a joke with them is really nice to see. And I think it's given a lot of people, again, encouragement and hope that he's doing well.
Thought he looked well. What did you think?
I thought he did, Eamon. I thought he looked under the circumstances. I thought he looks really well, and I see the fact that he's kind of joking and laughing. I always think that's quite a good sign because I'm sure you know from my time working there, humour was one of the big parts of the job, and to see that he's still got that humour is fantastic and really important. And I'm sure the Queen was equally happy for her to have her husband back at her side again.
The papers are describing this as a step back into public life this morning. Do you think that's the case, or do you think he was just dipping his toe in, so to speak?
I think you're right. I think it's dipping the toe in. It's kind of showing us all that he is still there. He's very much carrying on as normal. He's doing the duties as you'd expect of a king, but most of it is behind closed doors, and that's just quite simply because obviously, as I'm sure we're aware, with the treatment he's having, obviously don't want him catching anything or getting anything. So he's just being cautious. I mean, the reality is this is somebody who he's a real graft. He's a hard worker. He will not like the fact that he's not able to be with the public. He really won't like that. And doing it behind closed doors, he's doing what he's told, I suppose. But this is something he'll be glad that he's actually done. And it's possible that we might see him doing a little bit more of this going forward, as hopefully as he continues to improve.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Daily Mail here this morning. They have a sub-headline which says, did Camilla have state sanitizer on standby? I mean, the point being for them, when you're getting treatment the way the King is getting, your immune system can be weakened, and it wouldn't be advisable to, shake hands, rub shoulders with the general public, which is exactly what he did.
Exactly. I mean, it was interesting to see him doing this, and you can guarantee, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure when he goes into church, they'll make sure his hands are clean. I mean, that's something. Even the late Queen, was always very careful when just for obvious reasons when it comes to germs. But again, I think he just wanted to show that he is still getting on with the duty, and he's not afraid. This is a man that very little frightens him. So I think he's shown the world he's not afraid of this, and he's fighting it, and he's obviously going to, hopefully, God willing, he's going to make a full recovery. But at the same time, he wants to go out there and just carry on as he would normally go around shaking hands, and he wants to show that he's still carrying on doing the duty that he's supposed to be doing.
But except, Grant, he can't carry on in every department the way he perhaps would like to be. Now, you know him, you worked for him. What would he be missing doing, and what would he be filling his time with?
It's very much the walkabouts when you see him kind of public engagements, which, Eamon, as you're both aware, there's many. I mean, these diaries are planned 6 to 9 months in advance, and they're full on. I mean, it's something you would never wish to do the kind of duties that they have to do. And the fact he's scaled back on that, he won't like it. What will he turn his hand to? Very much what we're seeing behind closed doors. He's still carrying with his meetings, his audiences. He's still got a lot of work as king. Still documents to be signed and meetings to be held and discussions to have, and he'll still be doing all of that. We've seen some of that, so he by no means will have slowed down. I'd like to think that he's not working as late. I remember him working very late into the night, long after I'd gone to bed and been up before I was even up and about. And I'd like to think that maybe he's kind of cut back on those kind of late nights and early starts, so that at least it's a bit more kind of sensible hours for him, especially with the fact he's also having this treatment. But you've got to admire him. I mean, somebody, mid-70s, he's only just taken this job on in the last few years. He's now fighting this horrific disease, and as many millions of other people do, but he's also having to do it in front of the world. So, you've got to admire the man.
Well, Let's hope he's looking after himself, as you say, and not having those late nights. I was quite struck by his Maundy Thursday message last week and how religious the King is. I mean, we already knew that, but I think his show of faith was really quite obvious over the weekend. And that's something he had in common with his late mother as well, didn't he? It probably meant so much to be there at the Easter Sunday service for him.
It does, and obviously it wasn't the Monday service. Obviously, the Queen stood in for him. But religion's very important to him. I'm sure you're both aware that even at Highgrove, which is somewhere that he classes as his sanctuary, he has got a little sanctuary, a little chapel there in the grounds, and it's been created that any faith can worship there. Doesn't matter what faith, religion, everybody can worship there. It's very private to him. It's only friends and close family that go there. But religion's a very big part of his life, and as you mentioned, it was very, very important to his late mother as well. And, so the King takes that very seriously. And so the fact he's put this message out, again, this is him kind of carrying on his mother's work, if you like, and showing that when it comes to religion, all religions, it's something that he very much is passionate about and supports, and has shown that and demonstrated that, especially since becoming king.
Grant, really appreciate it. Thanks for your perspective, your take, your overall look at things. Thank you, and happy bank holiday to you. Happy Easter.
Absolutely.
Happy April Fool's Day. All those things.
All the above. Thanks, Grant.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.